UTM, my former stomping grounds. This video is dedicated to the graduating students of 2025. I know many of you have worked so hard to get to this point in your life, and I want to wish you all the best in your future endeavors. As a former student myself, I know how proud this moment is. May this video give you some encouragement and some inspiration going into this summer. Enjoy. I know you're tired, only so much you can run. You can never change the past, but your future is yet to come. The blessing is to learn our lesson from the things we may have done. I know dawn is always dark, but if you wait, you'll see the sun. And don't be scared of your shadow. It's only there because of light. And if it wasn't so dark, how would a star shine at night? And if you never felt weak, how would you know your own might? And if you never did wrong, how would you ever know what's right? That right there is an excerpt from my poem, Don't Let Me Go. And the reason I wanted to start with that today is because when we talk about perseverance and resilience, it is equally important that we talk about struggles and difficulty, because resilience and perseverance do not come without struggle. I'd like to tell you a story about a little girl who was with her mom while she got caught in the rain. Mom and this little girl are sitting by a bus stop and it starts raining heavily on them. And the little girl starts complaining and starts crying and saying, "Mom, I'm getting soaked and I'm so wet and it's uncomfortable." And the mom's saying, "Well, we don't have any shelter anywhere, but just be patient, just be patient." And the girl continues to cry and yell and show that she's frustrated. And the mom continues to show her patience and tells her, if you just wait a little bit longer, there will be a beautiful surprise waiting for you. But of course, the girl is impatient. She cries and continues to show her frustration to her mom and make a scene. But shortly after, the storm begins to subside. And as the storm completely subsides, all that's left behind is a beautiful rainbow. And the mother points to the sky and says, "Look there. Do you see what's in the sky?" And the little girl, who was just crying, kicking and screaming and yelling in frustration, looks up at the sky and sees this beautiful rainbow fill the sky, and she smiles. And that bright rainbow that has now covered the sky completely changes her entire mood. And her mom says to her, "You have to be patient even when things are uncomfortable and they're challenging you. Because it's raining, because you're getting soaked, and because you're facing this incredible, uncomfortable situation, you're annoyed and you're frustrated. But I want you to think about the beautiful rainbow that is in front of you. Think about what just came out because of that uncomfort and that frustration. In times of difficulty in life, I want you to think about that little girl, because many a times we cry, we kick, we scream, and we show our frustration, sometimes rightfully so, as she did. But what I also want you to think about is that in the middle of that storm that you're going through, that you're complaining about, there is a rainbow that is waiting for you. And sometimes it's hard to see that, because when we're caught in the middle of it and we're stuck in that storm, we don't have the foresight to be able to think about the future. We're thinking about right now. But the most important thing you need to remember about resilience and perseverance is that rainbow will come. And it might not happen right away. The storm might last a little while, but it will be there eventually. Do you show patience? Or do you walk away before that rainbow arrives? And I want you to think about all the times in your life where you have figuratively been in that storm. Maybe it's facing challenges at school. Maybe it's facing challenges with your family. Maybe it's a relationship that didn't work out the way you wanted to. Maybe you didn't get accepted into the career or the university that you hope to go to in the future. All these things are realities that people face. How do you respond? In the middle of that storm, do you wait for that rainbow to come, or do you give up and say, "I can't take this anymore"? Because that work opportunity that didn't work out for you, that university you didn't get accepted to, maybe there was a far better plan that you didn't see in the beginning, just like how that little girl didn't see the rainbow in the beginning. What does that look like for you? Now, I'd like to tell you my own personal story about this. Because as a young person who had a tremendous passion for creative writing and for the arts, This was never something that I thought I would make a career out of. My beginnings were very humble and, quite honestly, very embarrassing. The first time that I ever did a poetry performance was in front of 20 kids in my English class in high school, and my hands were shaking like this, and there was so much sweat from my palms. When I was holding the piece of paper that my poetry was on, it was drenched. I couldn't even hold it straight. That was my embarrassing beginning with my creative journey. But when I think about where I'm at now, when I think about what I've accomplished, given the storm that I was in, it's because of resilience and perseverance. That first performance to now being on camera and sharing this story with you, years of resilience have been required for me to be at this point now. And of course, many of you have seen me before, know that I've gotten the chance to freestyle with Kendrick and meet Obama and work with a couple of other really notable names. But it's not about that. It's about doing something that I truly feel fulfilled in, something that I know would make a difference. Make a difference for other people that also have doubts, that also come from difficult circumstances that are caught in that storm. And when I think about where I came from in terms of my family being immigrants, coming to Canada from Pakistan when I was very young, they never wanted me to do any of this. Being a writer, making a career and an income from writing was never in the cards. It was to be a lawyer, a doctor, or an engineer. But I'm so proud to share with you, as many of you know, that last year I came out with my very first novel. And I want to show you that right now. I got my friend Zane, who is directing this, who's holding it. Zane, thank you so much. This right here is called Call Me Al, and this is my story of when I was 13 years old and the storm that I was going through. High, very high expectations from my parents, difficulty at school with being bullied, mental health challenges, racism and discrimination and prejudice. All of that is captured in this book through the protagonist that I created based off myself. His name is Ali. Ali's a 13-year-old kid who's going through that storm. But in this book, I talk about how he navigates that because of resilience and perseverance. The one important thing that I want to leave you with, when you think about your own journey, whatever you want to be, whether it's being a writer like I have my first book here, or being a singer, or being a lawyer, or being a doctor, or a teacher, or whatever you want to be, whatever you want to do in your life, remember that that storm will eventually, inevitably arrive. But what do you do? We can sit there and complain and yell all the time. But when we show patience and we have foresight, we can remember that that rainbow is coming. And I want you to remember that it's coming for you in many different ways. When we have patience, we build our resilience and we build our perseverance. This book, I'm so proud to share this year, was nominated for one of the biggest writing awards in Canada. Something that I never would have thought was possible when I held that first piece of paper in my English class to do my first poem. Never did I think I'd be doing something like this and winning an award. But this is the rainbow in fruition. This is my parents being proved wrong. Even though they wanted me to be a lawyer or doctor, I knew I could make a career for myself doing what I love. And so can you. Your future has endless possibilities. Instead of focusing on the rain, focus on the rainbow. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Wali Shah, and congratulations once again, class of 2025.